What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another video. If you don't know who I am, that means you're new. I'm Mark. What's good with y'all? Go check out my other videos. Check them out. Check them out. Very excited to finally be back with another gun review, guys. And I know you guys looked at the thumbnail, you read the title, and you guys are just like, what's going on here? Mark, another PCC? What's going on? Mark doesn't like PCCs. And that is fairly accurate. That's a fairly accurate statement. However, I'm also not going to be the person to say I will never review one. You guys seen that, and you guys will see it again. So let's get started. You guys read it correctly. The CZ Scorpion Evo 3 500 round review. I love doing that. I love giving it the CZ slap. So let's talk about some of the things I like about the gun. Let's talk about some of the things I dislike about the gun, the reliability of it, everything, how it's shot. Let's get right into it. So for starters, what I like about the gun, it is fairly light, very easily maneuverable for what it is. You 100% can use this as a home defense gun without any issue whatsoever. You guys might be wondering, what kind of dot am I running on here? I got the Holosun 510C dot on here. It's a red dot. Very accurate dot, but that's besides the point. This gun is incredibly accurate. This gun is extremely soft shooting, like incredibly soft shooting. It's fun to shoot at that, and it's also cheap to shoot, especially compared to something like 5.56 or 7.62 by 39, for example. This gun is pretty freaking cool. I'm not going to lie to you guys. Now, I will say a couple of things that I'm not a big fan of, right? The safety. Yes, I get it. You know, it does take some getting used to for the safety, you know, fire, safe. Yes, it's ambi. However, that's not really what I'm worried about. My concern is that I have a very high aggressive grip, as you guys can see right here. I'm not going down on my grip. I am high up. I am in there like swimwear, my friend. And every now and then I'll feel the safety go right into the knuckle of my index finger, about right here. And that's just not comfortable. So I will say I'm definitely not a big fan of the safety. If you could shave it down just a little bit without it being just as protruding, that wouldn't be an issue whatsoever. The trigger's not bad. I mean, it's definitely not a PC9 trigger by any standards. However, the trigger is more than good enough for self-defense. So the trigger's not extremely bad, not in any way, shape, or form. Anybody who tries making that argument is not telling the truth. However, I can say it's not exactly extremely good either. So for my complaints, I really think that's those two things. While yes, they are legitimate complaints, while they are legitimate concerns, also don't really change how reliable the gun actually is. The gun has been extremely reliable. No one can tell me any otherwise, especially considering the ammo I've ran through this gun. Now, some of you guys might be wondering, what kind of ammo have you ran through it? Let me go down some of the list, okay? For starters, just on hollow points alone, I ran Hornady Critical Defense through it. I have ran, let's see here, the SIG V-Crown hollow points. I have ran, honestly, I ran a couple of Spear Gold Dots through this gun too. I've ran a lot of ammo through this gun. Oh, and Winchester. That's just hollow point ammo that I've ran through this gun, guys. When it comes to FMJs, though, I decided to go all out. Spared no expense. Flood ammo. That's right, guys. Back at it again with the flood ammo. Why? Because guess what? If this gun is going to run ammo that has been flooded out reliably with little to any issues, then yeah, I can 100% attest to its reliability. I can truly say that out of the Scorpion, the flood ammo had about a 4% failure rate. That's not very high for flood ammo. For reference, another batch of flood ammo I had prior was a 50-50. Like, hey, you know, you got a 50% chance of the round actually going off. You got 50% chance of it being dud. For the flood FMJs that we ran through the Scorpion, it was a 4% fail rate. Every 100 rounds, only 4 of them would light strike. So let that attest to the reliability of the CZ Scorpion Evo 3. Now, I do want to talk about the mag release, because the mag release I'm actually a pretty big fan of. Yes, I know It's a paddle or paddle, quote unquote, instead of a button. However, I don't know. It just feels nice and natural with this gun in particular. Not really with any other gun that I've ever shot, but this one in particular, it feels pretty nice to say the least. Now, I'm done talking about the gun. I'm done talking about how reliable it is. I'm done talking about how much I like it. We have to get down to shooting. So here's some slow shooting. And of course, we have to do some mag dumps. And of course, we got to talk about some drills. Build drills. Mozambiques. Now, we have to run the gun through all four self-defense situations, obviously. Because, I mean, what gun review would it be, really, if we didn't? Home defense, I'm not going to lie, the CZ Scorpion Evo 3, it gets a 9 out of 10 for me, guys. I mean, you can attach a dot on here. Already, it comes with pretty good sights. But you can attach a dot on here. You can attach a light on here. You get a good capacity out of it, especially if you're using the ETS 30-round mags like I've been using. And yes, those have been extremely reliable. But, I mean, I'll be honest with you guys, you get an incredibly good home defense gun. Maneuverability, low recoil, while still being a good enough round that it can actually defend you. And also you get a great capacity out of it, and it's extremely easy to use. All you have to do is practice just a little bit. It's not exactly very difficult to get used to the CZ Scorpion Evo 3. I'm pretty sure you guys are aware of that. That's why they are so popular. But, I mean, realistically, if this is all you have to defend your home, you are not at a disadvantage in the slightest. Don't let anybody tell you otherwise. Home defense, the CZ Scorpion Evo 3 gets a 9 out of 10 from me. Moving on, though, you're not concealed carrying the Scorpion Evo 3 unless it's in a backpack and you have the brace, for example, folded up like such. And even then, guys, let's be realistic. Yes, you may be able to get it out, send the bolt home, get a couple rounds off. However, after you get those couple of rounds off, are you actually going to be able to flip open the brace, shoulder, and get back to work? Maybe, maybe not. I'll be honest with you guys, it takes a lot of practice to do something like that. And while I'd like to say that the majority of my viewers practice enough, I don't want to speak for you guys. You know what I mean? So on your person, you're definitely not concealed carrying the Scorpion Evo 3. In a bag, sure. Again, though, what comes with bag carry is the slow draw time, the slow timing to getting yourself into the fight. And that's what matters here. Because guess what? We're not running these through all 4 of these situations for no reason. We want to make sure that this gun is good for self-defense. Moving on, though, because I honestly don't think we can say that concealed carry is applicable to the Scorpion Evo 3 for obvious reasons. Moving on, though, to an SHTF situation. SHTF situation, I feel kind of iffy about. And here's why I say that. While I'm aware CZ, they are fairly a fairly mass-produced company. Their products are fairly mass-produced. I'm aware the Scorpions are even more popular, so they have to be higher up on the mass-produced level than the majority of other guns by CZ. However, though, I can still say, without a doubt, that unfortunately the aftermarket availability is nowhere near to the level as something like a Glock, which, yes, I know you guys are going to be like, oh, Mark, that's all you bring up for aftermarket, Glock, Glock, Glock. Well, what else do you want me to bring up, guys? I mean, realistically speaking, when we're talking about a platform that basically is pure gold to the aftermarket, I mean, what company do you think I'm going to talk about? I have to bring up Glock. If I'm not, I'm being dishonest and very disingenuous with you guys. And I don't think you guys want that. I really don't. So SHTF situation, you get a round that you can definitely find. I'm sorry, but if you can't find any 9mm, that's already a whole nother issue itself. In an SHTF situation, 9mm should be some of the only ammo that you're able to find. If you can't find any, you're probably beyond screwed, to say the least. That's pretty much it when it comes to, capabilities for an SHTF situation for the Evo 3. Don't get me wrong. It's a great gun. It will keep you safe. That's not an issue. It's just you got to remember magazine availability and parts availability. It is lacking. It really is, guys. This isn't to say that it's a bad gun. By all means, that's far from the truth. Far from the truth, guys. However, I can say, though, that without that level of aftermarket availability, the chances of you finding a part or a mag if something breaks is slim to none, which you definitely don't want to be the case, guys. So what would I have to give it for an SHTF situation? I'm probably going to have to give it a 7 out of 10 in this case. This isn't to dog the gun. It's a great gun. I actually am a really big fan of the CZ Scorpion Evo 3 after running the 500 rounds through it that I have. I mean, it's extremely reliable. It's extremely accurate. It's fun to shoot. It's soft shooting. You can get the ammo at a very, very good price. So don't get me wrong. There's nothing wrong with the CZ Scorpion Evo 3 by me giving it a 7 out of 10 for an SHTF. It's just not going to be your best bet. Moving on, though, to animal defense. Of course, I have to talk about animal defense. So this pretty much will stop all medium-sized animals, depending on your classification of medium-sized animals. All small animals, I just would not put this up against anything large. Any sort of bear? No, not at all. I mean, yeah, it's gonna, it might help a little bit. I wouldn't, if I had a choice between the CZ Scorpion Evo 3 and even something like a Glock 20, I'm picking the Glock 20 all day and night over the CZ Scorpion Evo 3. That's just how it is, guys. What would I give this gun on a scale of 1 to 10 for animal defense? I'm going to have to be honest here. I think I'm going to have to stick with a 7 as well. And again, guys, a lot of people, they hear 7 and they're like, oh, 7 out of 10, that's awful. It's really not. I mean, 5 out of 10 is the average. So if it's up at a 7 or higher, that means it does pretty good. There's just a couple of things that would help it more. For example, in this case, maybe instead of being chambered in 9mm, it was chambered in 10mm. That would make it a 10 out of 10 in this case for animal defense. However, though, we have to work with what we have. So a 7 out of 10, not a bad score in the slightest, guys. Now, when you add up math, you figure it all out, you're looking at roughly a 23 out of 30. So for those wondering, that's a little over 75% if I'm not mistaken. I don't want to be off on that. Yeah, a little over 75%. That sounds right to me. Would I recommend you go out and buy this gun? Yes, absolutely. To be 100% honest with you, yes. If you're looking for, something this size, chambered in 9mm, you have two real options in my opinion. You have the Core Elite Operations PC9, and then you have the CZ Scorpion Evo 3. Why? Because those are both incredibly reliable, incredibly easy to use, incredibly accurate. Truth be told, guys, I did not plan on liking this gun. I did not. I sat there and took a look at it and was like, it looks okay. Am I really going to like it, though? I did not plan on liking this gun whatsoever. And can I say I am very, very happy that I was wrong. Now, just for you guys, so that way we can wrap up this video, I will give you guys one more CZ slap. It's so nice. But with that being said, I think that about wraps it up for this video. Y'all make sure to like, comment, subscribe, share, hit that bell. When you hit that bell, hit all in. Whether or not you agree with me about my thoughts on the CZ Scorpion Evo 3, whether or not you think it's good for self-defense, whether or not you think it's even a good gun, whether or not you like them, whether or not you hate them, whether or not you want one, whether or not you don't want one, go ahead and comment your thoughts down below. Make sure to check out all my other videos. Y'all make sure to stay legal, stay safe, stay dangerous. Have a good one, y'all. Peace.